Hi everyone, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here in the comforts of my own home. This is actually my chess room, but it's hard to tell because 99% of the chess stuff is not where you can see it. You can see this wall behind me, so I'm sure you're fascinated. I actually like filming outside, but it's raining, so that probably would be a bad idea. But I'm sure I'd get a lot of funny comments about it. So, it's funny, there's a grandmaster in the US named Conrad Holt who's better than me, higher rated than me, younger than me. He gets more women than I do. But I have a good record against him. In tournaments, we drew a game in Vegas pretty quickly once. And I beat him in the Pro Chess League a few weeks ago. You can see that video. And I beat him in Chicago once. I beat him in Tulsa, which is the game we're going to look at now. And I remember beating him again, but maybe I dreamed that. Yeah, I like dreaming that. And I don't think he's beaten me. So, yeah, I think that means the next time we play, I better run and hide. Now, this game was played when Holt was actually like 2150 to 2200 rated, but he was killing it. This was a U.S. Championship qualifier. And he was trying to qualify for the U.S. Championship, even though his rating was low, because he was much better than his rating. I think like 2 years after this game, he was higher rated than me. Okay, so I had white, and he played the Slav. Yeah, and usually, let's see, can I say I usually do different stuff? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I play like all kinds of stuff, so my opponent can't prepare for me. So I'll play the exchange Slav, I'll play the queen c2 Slav like I did this game, I'll play regular Slav with knight c3, I've played g3. So I usually do the unusual. And I used to play queen c2 probably 80% of the time when people played the Slav and we got this position. Now, unfortunately for me, Conrad likes to play the sharpest theory, and he knows it really well. And he played a line I've never faced before because it looks sort of crazy, but it's actually really important. It's a line where black sacrifices a piece. So g6, bishop f4, and now if black just plays normally bishop g7 castles and white plays e3, knight c3, then white's probably slightly better. Knight a6, and the idea is to play super aggressively. The reason is white can't castle here, so white's got to get it going here, and black can start attacking really quickly with bishop f5 and knight b4. So e3, bishop f5, and now it looks like after queen b3, black has to defend his b pawn, and then white can do complete development, and everybody's happy. Knight c3, bishop e2, castles. But many, many, many years ago, before Conrad Holt was born, the move knight b4 was introduced. And I knew this move, but I never faced it. And I didn't think anybody would play that because it looked sort of crazy. And I knew the right way for white to play was a queen sacrifice. So I had to figure out where the queen sacrifice was. And I really didn't know the theory. So I took, and then the move e5 threatens the queen by discovery, which I better show you because based on your comments, I don't think you're going to see that. And also the bishop on b4, on f4 is attacked. Okay, so we continue. Queen takes b7. Rook to b8, attacking the queen. Queen takes c6 check. I guess if white wants a draw, I can play queen a7 and move my queen back and forth forever. Although, I think after queen a7, maybe he just takes my bishop. My queen's sort of stupid. Okay, so I check and bishop d7. And again, if I play queen a6, then he can take my bishop on f4. And, well, I have my queen out, but his rook's on b8, and the pawns are all attacking each other. I'm not going to castle anytime soon. Bishop b4 check is in the air. Yeah, it's sort of dangerous. And then I realized I could sacrifice my queen, so I knew that that was right. Queen takes f6. Bishop takes e5. The queen has to move. And now, well, if I take the rook on h8, which seems like the obvious move, then queen takes b2 is going to win my rook on a1. And actually, I'm threatening both rooks, so I shouldn't give him the counterplay. So I played b3. And this turns out to be the main line of this line, but I didn't know anything. And he played queen a5 check. Now, he was playing pretty quickly because this is theory. And here I played a novelty. And Computers have gotten better since this game. This game was played about 10 years ago. And I think the computer liked my move better than the main move, when I analyzed the game later. Now I'm not so sure. The main move is knight b to d2. And I decided knight f to d2 was better. It might be. The idea is black wants to play rook takes b3 because the a pawn is pinned. And if I play knight b to d2, for example, and he plays rook takes b3, if I take the rook, he'll take my rook with check, and I won't be able to take his rook on a1, on h8, I should say. Therefore, people don't take the rook on b3, they take the rook on h8, and black gets counterplay with rook b2 and bishop b4, and okay, all kinds of aggressiveness for black. However, I thought if I played knight f to d2, which I did, and he played rook takes b3, which he did, that I could just take his rook, which I did. And now when he takes my rook, it's not check, and I could take his rook. And actually, this isn't better for white according to the engines now, but it's not theory. So, well, it is now. But when I played the game, it had never been played before. And black has two moves that are pretty obvious here, and he chose the wrong one. Both of my knights potentially can be pinned. He could play bishop to b4, or he could play bishop to f5. And you can see that with the knights pinned, my other knight is threatened. For example, if he plays bishop to b4, he's threatening queen takes b1 check. If he plays bishop to f5, I have trouble saving my knight, obviously, it's pinned. Now, what's the material count? I'm sure you've been asking that. White has a rook and two pieces and two pawns for a queen. So that's way too much material. So if nothing happens, white's just winning. But if white loses a piece, which seems likely, then black is probably doing okay. Plus, my bishop on h8 isn't great. My rook on h1 isn't great. My king could get attacked. So it's really double-edged position. Now, according to the engine today, maybe in 5 years they'll say something else, one of black's moves, the two moves I showed you, bishop f5 and bishop b4, one gives black an equal game, if not slightly better, and one of them just loses. And unfortunately, he chose the wrong one. I don't blame him because it's not theory and it's hard to play the right move here. So he chose the move bishop f5 because that seems like it clearly wins a piece. Unfortunately, it doesn't. And after bishop b4, the computer says black is fine. So that'll be another game. Okay, so I take on d5. And now the problem with bishop takes b1, sort of the obvious move, is I play bishop b5 check. He moves his king. And then I play king e2, and he's pinned here. Now, if I play king e2 right away, he'd play bishop d3 check. So I have to edit the video and not play king e2. No, I'm not going to edit the video. Are you kidding? So king e2 was stupid. What I meant to say, it was actually a typo in my voice, okay, was I should castle. And now, well, I guess he can save himself material by playing the move queen a5, which he should. And then I could either play knight c4, rook takes b1, knight takes b1. They all seem pretty good, actually. I don't know which is best. Let's take a piece. And I'm going to end up having a rook, a piece, and 3 pawns for a queen. And he has nothing. He has no attack on my king. He has no potential for a passed pawn. My bishop on h8 is not getting trapped. It has the e5 square, the f6 square. Well, that seems like too much material to me. And so since that was the case, he decided after c takes d5, he was going to play more aggressively and not just get some material back. Conrad played queen to a5. Now, this pins my knight on d2, so he can play bishop takes b1 next move, and I can't take back. Also, my d5 pawn is attacked. Bishop b4 is coming. Okay, queen a5 is not a good move. And I refuted it by unpinning my knight with the move king to d1. And now I basically have a rook and 2 pieces for a queen, along with my extra pawns. And there's not really a good continuation here for black. I can't suggest anything good. So the game actually ended pretty quickly. Play queen a2, threatening my knight on b1. Bishop b5 check. Bishop f6 check. He tried to avoid trading pieces, so his bishop on f8 could attack me on a3 or b4, which never really happened. And now I play king e2, you can't check my king anywhere good, and I'm protecting my knight on b1. So if you take it, I take with a rook. And okay, you could resign now because your queen a5, queen a2 didn't work. So after my novelty knight fd2, I would say in the last 5 or 6 moves, Conrad's made the 3 mistakes. Small mistakes, but can't make mistakes in this position. It's too complex. Bishop b4, threatening bishop takes b1, which would win a piece. Although I think I'd still take white. Rook c1 check. And I have a lot of pieces attacking his king. King to b7. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what he does. Yeah. I guess if he plays king b6, I could play for mate, or I could play bishop d3, which is just, I'm up a lot of pieces. Bishop c6 check, king a6. And instead of defending, I went on the attack. Rook c4, threatening his bishop on b4. And if the bishop on b4 moves anywhere, I play rook a4 check, forking his king and queen. And if you don't move your bishop, that's also bad. And your king is in a mating net, and you're down 3 pawns, and I'm higher rated than him, and I'm older, and he was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so you don't want to really be there for too long. You know, you got to leave. So he chose a good time to resign. He played bishop a5 and b4. So bishop a5 is obviously the only bishop move where rook a4 check doesn't win everything. But after b4, I'm threatening your bishop. I'm stopping bishop takes d2. And now I'm threatening mate. If it was my move, I would play b5 check and bishop to d8 mate, which is a funny mate. So since I'm threatening his bishop, I'm threatening mate, and he should have resigned like 5 moves ago. Now the game ended. So that was a very interesting game. Conrad wasn't quite 2200 yet, so he wasn't playing his best. And it's funny, maybe, you know, my adage from the last video that you have to beat them when they're young. I guess if you beat them when they're young, they might have some respect for you. And then when they're older and better than you, they don't beat you anymore for some reason. I beat Caden Schroff when he was young, Sam Savian, Conrad Holt. And then when they got older, with the exception of Holt, they all just beat me every game now. So, yeah, I got to play less, then I won't have to lose to them anymore. Okay, so this is me from my beautiful home, although you can't really see any of the chess stuff. But that's good, because I don't want to give away my secrets. I have a lot of secret analysis. Yeah, you believe me. And I know that you guys stole my analysis. I got the tapes and everything, and I'm going to produce them at some point. I even got an email from Donald Trump, and it said, see my tweet. I was very confused. But he said everybody stole everything from him. They're secretly recording me in here somewhere. I know they are. I know it's happening. And I'm not totally insane and the worst person who ever lived. That's not the case. Okay? Somebody else already took that from me. All right. You guys actually donated a lot yesterday. When I say a lot, I don't mean a lot of money. I mean, a lot of people donated. Normally, I get 1 donation a day or 0. But you guys actually, several people donated, you know, $5 because that's the minimum. So thanks. And we need a lot of donations because our chess center is going to be awesome. We're going to add some stuff to our website in the next week or 2. I want to thank our webmaster, International Master Eric Rosen. He does a great job with the website. Basically, it's all him. We tell him what to do, and he puts it all up there. We're going to tell him some more stuff. We're going to be open 7 days a week. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have classes. We're going to have tournaments. We're going to have kids tournaments, tournaments for everyone, blitz tournaments, bug house tournaments. I'm not kidding. We're going to have weekly bug house tournaments. So you should probably move to Atlanta. And don't forget to bring money. Go to our website, atlchessclub.com, and donate. The more you donate, the more you learn. No donation is too large. And follow me on Twitter and Facebook, Chess Club and Scholastic Center of Atlanta. This is Grandmaster Ben Finegold with my second webcam. It takes me about an hour to download it to YouTube. It used to take 5 minutes, but it's worth the wait. Okay, bye everyone.